First and foremost, before I move on or start with the sharing session as well as the discussion session, I would first like to give some notes on the housekeeping rules. Number one, this professional discussion is recorded and will be uploaded after this on Akil TV to be viewed in the future. So we can always refer to it when it comes to if we have like certain issues or certain experiences with our when conducting final exam, you can always refer it to here and for the who will be watching this video as well. Kindly fill in your information in I attend. The link will be shared by Brother Sufian inshallah soon. And then the next one is this topic. For today's topic, it is one of the selected topics through discussion among the ISO committees. But we would also like to invite everyone here, and as well as your colleagues at the department, to let us know should there are any other topics that we can discuss in the future professional discussion. So far we have a few topics in line, but we would also like to welcome everyone to share any that they would like to share with us, inshallah. First and foremost, before we dive deeper into the discussion as well as the sharing session, we first need to understand what is final examination. According to the IIUM conduct of the final examination published in 2020, final examination is to handle the conduct of end of semester and receipt or special examinations in an efficient manner and to uphold the confidentiality as well as to ensure that the examinations are conducted according to the rules and regulation provided by the university. So all of us may find this on page 2 on IUM conduct of final examination. Let me share with you the document. Okay, here it is. So we may find it on IUM website, and the title of the document is Conduct of the Examination, and it was recently published. Starting effective date is 2020, which is just recently. Here's the objective on the conduct of the examination, and the scope is specifically to cover all types of examinations, end of semester and receipt or special examinations for undergraduate programs, and for us it's going to be at foundation programs. So these are some of the responsibility and detailed procedure. What I did just now is to summarize the responsibility and the detailed procedure based on the IUM conduct of the final examination. Number one is the conduct of decentralized or non-decentralized examination. The second one is the preparation of examination materials. The next one is the venues. And then how should we conduct or how do we handle cases of cheating, attempting to cheat, and bringing in or students who brought in unauthorized item cases. After the examination have been conducted, then it is on the preparation for receipt or special examination. So I think we have quite a number of participants this evening, Alhamdulillah. So I would really love to hear, or if everyone would like to share their experiences in terms of conducting final examination, whether it be from staff perspective or on exam or the audit office perspective, or maybe other than that, maybe in terms of venues and so on. With us today, we have Sister Atika, who will be representing the exam unit in place of Brother Hafiz. So hopefully if we have like any issues that we would like to talk today, maybe Sister Atika could help enlighten us on these issues as well. So to get the ball rolling, ball rolling, thank you, Brother Shams. The first question, what are the things that we should say or announce prior to starting an examination? Such an excellent question, Brother Shams. Anyone would like to enlighten us on Brother Shams' questions? What are the things we should say or announce prior to starting an examination? This is from a lecturer's point of view, is it, Brother Shams? Okay. What about the members of the floor? Anyone would like to help Brother Shams understand the situation? What are the things that we as lecturers should say or announce prior to starting an examination? Yeah, I think everyone is thinking, everyone is trying to recall their experiences as well. We just had our announced to students or to staff? Oh, yeah. What do you think, Brother Shams? Oh, to students. Brother Rayani, do you have any ideas? As invigilators. Hmm. What are the things?
No, I think, Assalamualaikum, Sister Anis. I think that because the question is quite straightforward, what are the things that we should say? I think we have a guideline from the exam unit, the things that we have to say and have to announce to students, all the rules and regulations. They're not supposed to cheat. They have to inform the invigilators if they want to go out, going to the toilet. So I think
Right.
that one is quite straightforward and clear, because I thought Sham asked, what we are supposed to say from, like Hate's point of view or CC's point of view to our staff. Yeah, perhaps, sometimes they are not aware of certain, procedures. For example, are we allowed to give hints to students? So these are the things that we are supposed to discuss as well. For example, are we allowed to give hints? Are we allowed to, yeah, that kind of, those issues.
For example, hints before the final exam, right, Brother
Yeah,
Rayani?
yeah.
Are we allowed to do that in your opinion, Brother Rayani?
Yeah, maybe
Like, is
everybody
it
can
okay?
contribute. Yeah, because this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sorry, I talk too much. Yeah, for example, this morning I actually attended one class in Kuliah of, IUM Kuantan. Yeah, so one teacher basically said, okay, this is going to be covered in the final. Yeah, so I think the practices vary from one kuliah to another, one department to another. Yeah, so it's good for us to discuss whether it's good to share hints, it's good to share with students what to be covered or what will be covered in the final. Yeah, so it would be great if everybody here can share with us your practices. Yeah.
Yes, I would like to open the floor to all of the members of today's professional discussion to share what do you think. What is the practice of your department in terms of giving hints or letting the students know what is going to come out in the final exam? Do we let them know, or do we not? Should we not tell them at all? What does everyone think about this? Anyone at all?
Assalamualaikum.
Yes, Sister Nur Azrina.
Okay, just in regards to what Brother Syams tanya tadi, saya nak highlight sikit lah berkenaan dengan announcement. So I guess memang kita semua aware that Odara provide us with for the chief invigilators to refer to somehow like macam a paper yang dah laminate tu, right? Rules and regulation. Cuma I guess kalau kita boleh nak cadangkan untuk update and upgrade sikit, sebab tak silap saya lah, correct me if I'm wrong, tak silap saya ada perkataan yang macam contoh macam Walkman, something like benda yang dah tak ada sekarang. And saya cadang baik kita masukkan benda yang sekarang budak-budak pakai. Contoh, diorang banyak sangat sekarang ni pakai earpod. So should be earpod mesti buang. Buang pula dah. Kena cabut. Ya, earpod kena keluarkan daripada telinga dia dan kena pastikan dia switch off. Sebab kita mungkin boleh rasakan yang earpod tu sebenarnya ada something yang dia dengar, lecture notes ke whatever ke, kita pun tak tahu apa benda yang dia record kan untuk diri dia sendiri. Because saya pernah experience dekat Mahala, student record balik apa yang dia belajar. Nota-nota dia baca sebiji-sebiji dan dia record dalam phone dia. Which somehow they can use that as source untuk dia dengar bila-bila masa sahaja. Kan? So mungkin ada benda yang kita boleh update balik lah first untuk dekat ODA punya reference for invigilators, chief invigilators untuk baca tu lah.
Thank you very much, Sister Azrina. We also have another comment by Madam Maniza. Perhaps the practice on handling handphone should be standardized. Handling handphone in terms of during the final exam when it is being conducted, is it, Madam? Yes, regarding the announcement. Okay, so this is the reply.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes.
Just to add to that remark, okay, you know, I mean, the policy is that students shouldn't bring their handphone to the exam hall. But sometimes you may notice that the phone is under their desk, which they said the lecturer allow, you know. So it seems that there is no standardized policy on how the handphone issues is to be handled. Right? And I know even at the kuliah, they are not allowed to bring the handphone to the exam hall. Meaning it should be in their bag, you know, it should be at the mahallah ke, something like that. Okay? But not at the CFS. Different exam these different courses ada different policy pula. Allahu alam.
Brother Ryan responded to your comment just now that he said that that's a good highlight, madam. Yes, true. Because some lecturers said, no, it is okay for you to bring your phone. You can just put it under the table, kan? So, but the chief said you are not allowed to bring the phone at all. So which one? So that creates confusion among students, I think. Right? Okay. I want to go back to Brother Shams. He said, yes, regarding the announcement, this is responding to Madam Azrina. The issue is that it was observed the provided scripts are not fully utilized. Probably because the script can be further improved. Yes, true. Sometimes the chief invigilator or other invigilators, they might want to say something else other than what is already stated on the scripts. So maybe we can have the exam unit to update on the scripts, inshallah, and we will be really thankful of that. All right, I think that's a very good start, everyone. For those who just came in, kindly click on the attendance link. Okay, it is on our chat box, inshallah.
Sister Anis, if I may highlight something,
Yes,
I mean, still discussing the same issue highlighted by Brother Sham, announcements, you know, prior to examinations, you know, I think we also have to consider finding different platforms to inform our students. You know, sometimes ODAL, for example, most of the time uses, you know, iMaklum to inform the results, to notify like special exam, for example. But sometimes, you know, some students, they like oblivious to those announcements. They are not aware. Yeah, so perhaps we have to find ways how to communicate faster with our students. Yeah, even if we have like WhatsApp group, Telegram group, you know, handled by departments, but then we need to find one platform which is easier for us to reach out to our student and everybody can get the information. Yeah, so I think things change, technology changes. We have to admit that. But then when we have so many platforms, I think, you know, in IUM in particular, we have so many platforms. We have iMaklum, we have like CFS announcement, ataupun we have website. So we have to be consistent how to reach out to our student. Kan, macam tu. Yeah, so it's good for us to discuss that as well lah. Yeah, for example, like recently, special exam, I think we can improve how we handle special exam, how we handle, you know, giving announcement to our students so that everybody can get the information. Yeah.
That is interesting, Brother Ryan, because recently I just did a quick survey among my students. I asked them, what is the best platform for all of us to share information with them? And then they immediately said, definitely not email, because they rarely check their emails. So if we wanted to share anything via email, they will definitely not check it. So we'll have to find some other options. Like for example, maybe if it's on iTaklim or iMaklum, then it has to be consistent from the beginning.
Kalau boleh tambah juga sikit, true juga. Sebab sometimes you don't have to actually find one platform. Sometimes you have to reinforce. Contoh lah, because I think, you know, again, IUM is a good example of not being efficient in terms of, sharing information. I think why? Sebab we have iTaklim, we have Teams, we have iMaklum, we have email. So we have to choose one platform. Maybe that platform is going to be challenging, or maybe they are not comfortable. For them, they find it inconvenient using that platform. But then if we choose one platform, but then we force and we enforce them to use the same platform, then they will get used to it. Yeah. But right now, I think we have like different platform, many practices. It's just that we have to sit down and standardize right platform to inform our student. Yeah, macam itulah. And then once we have chosen one platform, we have to really use it. Yeah, macam tu. Wallahu a'lam. That's just my opinion lah. Yeah.
Any members of the floor would like to add, maybe like to share some of the ways that you guys share informations with your students? Is it via email? Is it via Telegram? Ada ke yang by TikTok? Because they're so fast, they're so quick. Sometimes something formal macam tu pun, I notice like if I will share it to via Telegram lagi cepat response, or via WhatsApp lagi cepat response. But via Teams, they did not even notice the announcement. So how are we going to improve in terms of providing announcements, especially on final examination, the most important thing throughout the semester? Anyone would like to share their platform for announcing any announcements or before the final exam? Okay, while thinking, maybe we can go to Brother Sham's question. Brother Shams has a question. Have a question to Odai. What is the policy on handling mobile phone during examination? What's the standard set? Do we have Sister Atika over here? Sister Atika, are you around? Yes, Sister Atika. What is the policy on handling mobile phone during examination? What's the standard set? Maybe Sister Atika is thinking on the answers. We'll try and get back to her as soon as possible. Other issues in terms of conducting final exam based on your experience, members of the floor. Other than that, for example, maybe in terms of preparation of examination materials or venues or conduct of cheating. Maybe if I may,
can you explain again the scope of this discussion? Only conducting final exam.
Only conducting the final exam, probably before, during, as well as after, Brother Rayani.
Okay.
And it can also be in terms of, can also be from students' perspectives or from the lecturers' perspectives as well.
May I say something? Just
Yes.
sharing, actually.
Yes.
Okay. This was not last semester, the previous semester. Okay, and my paper was together with another paper, but then my paper was like 2.5 hours, and then the other paper is like, I ingat 1.5, I'm not so sure. But the point that I want to highlight is that when they have, it is in the same venue, okay? It's in the same venue. When they have completed their paper, and then they make announcement, and then they start collecting, and the way they collect the paper is not like the normal way of collecting paper where lecturers ataupun kita panggil invigilators collect by rows, right? So now the students are supposed to move and submit the paper to the individual lecturers concerned, which is like around the hall. So my concern,
Very chaotic.
I'm quite shocked at that time though. So my concern was that it was really disturbing my students like that time, because they have another 1 hour, and they cannot focus because the other side is like moving around. Faham tak? Perhaps, we have many new staff joining, right? New lecturers joining in, but ODIL may need to give some some briefing on how to handle invigilation. Macam dulu-dulu zaman-zaman I muda-muda tu memang ada, okay? Because we don't know actually the procedures kan, we just follow our seniors and things like that. But some of the youngsters ni, young lecturers ni may not be alert about this. So they buat macam test biasa or quiz biasa, you know. And despite having the other setengah hall yang masih lagi dalam exam hall. So perhaps ODA should number one, consider giving a briefing, especially to the young lecturers. Or number two is if we could have different papers with, let's say, time yang sama, that would be better. Okay, jadi dia tak disturb the other students who are still taking the exam. Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Aniza. That's true. Like peliknya dalam satu exam venue, 2 papers, different timings as well. I think
Possible.
Sorry?
It's possible. In certain papers, they may require 3 hours or 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's possible.
But like Madam Maniza said just now, when the one paper finishes early, then the rest tu yang still doing their papers might feel, you know, uncomfortable, like mesti ada bising kan, mesti nak pass paper tu ke depan, they'll be like talking and so on, so that will cause like concerns as well as not feeling very comfortable among the students, not the lecturers, but the students themselves could feel uncomfortable. Alhamdulillah.
Can I add?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry, macam I think this is a very interesting issue lah. And then it's a good highlight by Madam Aniza as well, because, you know, based on my observation as well, I think not only briefing for new staff, and sometimes we need that briefing for, you know, senior staff as well, because, you know, sometimes, you know, I observe because, you know, as invigilators, we are supposed to invigilate, and sometimes we can see certain staff. I'm not saying like senior or junior staff, and some staff, they don't really invigilate, meaning they staying at the back, talking, going out. So to me, if I'm assigned to be an invigilator, basically I have to walk around, make sure that everything is going well, because you are asked to, you know, invigilate. Yeah, so that's why I think we also have to have a briefing for everybody to remind what you're supposed to do as invigilators. And it's also important for ODI, I think, to sort of like find a way to find a balance, how to make sure that we don't have too many invigilators in one setting kan, ataupun in one venue. Contoh, sometimes macam tengok like one exam hall tu macam, kenapa ramai sangat ni kan invigilators kan, macam so to me, kalau kita nak optimize, kita macam mungkin kena cari satu like a solution or formula. Kalau one venue, what would be the like ideal number kan, mungkin according to the capacity, according to number of students kan. Yeah, sebab sometimes you can see that the hall is packed with invigilators ya, macam tak convenient I think kan, sebab kadang-kadang macam we are running out of, you know, invigilator, lepas tu you banyakkan pula, macam tu lah. Mungkin this is like a way for us to revisit lah, I mean the platform for us to revisit the practices and to fine tune what we have been doing all this while.
So ada juga bila ramai sangat invigilators tu, and then, you know, I mean this is something simple kan, but I heard the students bila diorang dah keluar pada exam, they said bising lah kasut yang duk jalan-jalan tepi tadi, macam bunyi tap 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 tap, and dia bunyi so diorang kata macam dengar tak tadi kasut tu macam bising, they were like thinking, and then because of invigilator dah lah ramai, and then they were not being cautious as well of the students' condition at that time, like they need to focus and so on, but they're not being cautious. I think what we can suggest to ODI is to have the briefing, not just to junior lecturers but also to senior lecturers, basically to all, just to remind them again the do's and the don'ts, what are the optimum, what is the suitable size or the number of invigilators in an exam hall. Thank you so much, Brother Rayani. I think so far we have great observations from our members of the floor. I hope, is everyone okay? Okay, 3:30, okay lagi. Okay, alright. So I would like to just reshare again. Maybe just now we talk about the announcements and then we talk about the invigilators. Maybe we want to talk about decentralized or non-decentralized examinations based on experience. What are the issues or issues when preparing for examination materials in terms of venues and conduct of cheating? Any members of the floor would like to share their experience? Brother Sham said he has a question over here. If students do not adhere to the dress code, like on Wednesday, can we prevent students from entering the exam venue? Anyone, any members of the floor would like to share or help us enlighten on this matter? Can we prevent students from entering the exam venue? For example, they're wearing any like K-pop punya, you know, baju seluar, like really santai. Should we or should we not allow these students from entering the exam venue?
Okay, saya nak share sikit lah my experience dulu. Saya graduated daripada UiTM. So in UiTM, dress code is very, orang kata apa, particular lah when it comes to final examination. In fact, for students yang do not, orang kata apa, meet the attire for final examination, memang betul they are not allowed to enter the exam. In fact, kalau tertinggal exam slip pun tak boleh masuk. Tapi as what we experience dekat sini ke apa ke, nampak macam leeway sikit lagi lah. Maksudnya kalau tak ada exam slip tak apa, as long as ada IC dengan pun boleh lagi, macam tu. So bila itulah mungkin boleh juga kot, cadangan bagus juga kalau maksudnya kita tekankan dari segi professionalism in sitting for exam kan, in terms of dress code. So that dia faham lah benda tu is something yang kita kena ambil berat lah. Macam tu.
Yes, that will also train them for in the future, kan, Madam Azrina?
Ya, betul.
Always be prepared, to always be disciplined at all times, regardless kita dekat mana.
Betul.
Excellent. I thought when I heard you said UiTM just now, I thought the regulations or the rules and regulations are quite loose, but in fact it was the opposite.
Exam especially. And just pasal yang untuk cheating procedures ke apa kan, mungkin jugalah saya pun tak pasti, mungkin lain orang lain cara handle student kalau especially dia orang nak pergi toilet kan. Kalau kita perasan masa jaga exam, bila student nak pergi toilet kita suruh tulis nama dekat kertas tu sambil invigilators duduk kat belakang ataupun exam attendance tunggu kat pintu and then dia orang keluar. Tapi bagi saya kalau boleh lah, I'm not sure benda ni boleh di orang kata apa, gazettekan ke ataupun jadikan dia benda official ke, invigilator ataupun exam attendant kena minta pelajar untuk show dia empty pocket. Sebab student sekarang ni they have more than one handphones. Satu dia letak bawah meja. Yang satu lagi tu sebenarnya ada dalam poket. So yang itulah yang ada nota. So macam ada few incidents jugalah. So kita nampak yang bukan adalah kita kata dia meniru, tapi sebenarnya ada phone lagi dalam poket dia. So mungkinlah benda ni boleh jugalah orang kata apa, kita tekankan semasa briefing ke, tak kisahlah untuk invigilators ataupun untuk exam attendance lah in future.
Interesting. Madam Azrina, saya tak pernah terfikir benda tu. Like, rasanya pernah nampak they have more than one phone, but maybe whether it is attempted or not an attempt, tapi bahayalah kalau ada lagi satu phone kan dalam poket.
Betul.
Interesting. Anyone would like to respond to maybe in terms of the dress code again? Should we allow them or not? Yes, Kak Emilia.
No, it was an accident, sorry.
Alah, tak apalah Kak. Maybe like you have like experience, like in your opinion, should we allow them or not datang exam kalau tak pakai proper?
Okay. The definition of proper itself is general, I think. If
true.
I were to answer the questions, I might probably define proper as a formal manner. So as long as the students is wearing things informal, formal attire macam kemeja proper, bukan baju polka ke, baju bling-bling macam Daud Kilau ke, I think it should be permissible for them to exit that exam as long as they're wearing proper one lah. Anyway, it's just for my point of view. However, the thing that I would like to ask and double check is that the importance of having student ID, the metric card in the examination hall, because every time when we invigilate kan, lepas tu kita nak collect attendance slip diorang tu kan, so by right the instruction given by the chief invigilator, the students should put their metric card on the table together with their exam slip. And then the piece of the attendance paper from the exam paper, final exam tu kan, all together must be there. Exam slip, metric card, and then yang attendance sheet tu daripada final exam paper. So by right, from my understanding, the students should present these 3 documents on their table. However, most of the students, I think I counted this situation for several times where the students they don't even have metric card with them, and whenever I ask for the metric card, they said, oh dekat bilik tertinggal, oh dalam beg tertinggal. So my question, okay, macam korang macam Kak Nurul punya soalan tadi lah, tapi bagi I ni lagi legit daripada baju, sebab baju is fine. Metric card, how are we going to verify this is the correct student, the right student for the paper?
Betul.
That is my concern lah. So because selama I jadi invigilator dan chief invigilator, I tak pernah terima arahan yang student tak ada metric card, kita kena suruh dia ambil juga metric card. Jadi whenever I encounter a situation student with no metric card, I literally clueless. So I just terima dia punya attendance sheet as it is, hoping that okay, this is the true student, this is the right one.
This is the right student.
So the same question goes to, kenapa student tak boleh pakai puldah dalam exam hall? One of the reason is to verify the student. So kalau student tak boleh pakai puldah dalam hall for verification purposes, then kenapa kita boleh consider metric card tak ada dengan student dalam exam hall? Still we couldn't verify them. Nampak tak? Tiba-tiba Emilia ni tadi macam kau tak nak bercakap kan, sekarang kau tak. That is
Thank
my
you so much,
concern.
Kak Amy. Betul. Pasal student card tu kita jadi macam blur, tak tahu.
So saya macam sedangkan ada student card pun muka student dengan muka dalam card tu lain. Macam is this you? Yes, madam, this is me, madam. Koperasi punya kamera buruk, madam, muka saya. Okay, fine. That I can tolerate. What more dengan student yang tak ada metric card? Oh no, how am I going to confirm that you are the student? Lepas tu dia sengih-sengih. Dah jam. Invigilator, I jam. So macam, tapi I tak ada instruction kan? So I macam, okay lah. So that is the question. Mungkin ODA ataupun any respective team should respond how important for student to have metric card together. Dan kalau you all cakap benda tu penting, then what should we do untuk student yang tak ada metric card during exam hall, especially final exam? What action that we, the invigilator, can take to the student? That is my question.
During kan?
Especially final exam. Yes.
Because I think it is impossible for us. It is quite possible, but sometimes kita tak buat. Like for example, we check their metric card upon entering the exam venue tu.
And then kan, kalau ada orang cakap, oh we should remind them. Come on, takkanlah kita tak pernah remind student. Bayangkan dia dah remind. We need another, orang cakap, more fresh idea. Tapi fresh idea tu pun come back to the question, how important for the student to have metric card during exam? So kalau fresh cakap penting, then what are the action kalau diorang tak ada metric card during exam? Itulah ceritanya.
Thank you so much, Kak Amy. Kalau kes macam ni, dia sebenarnya macam once in a blue moon punya situation. Memang jarang-jarang jadi. Kalau 1,000 maybe 1 or 2 akan buat macam ni. Diorang
yang mana? Yang tak bawa metric card
yang tak bawa tu. Tertinggal.
I invigilate paper. I invigilate final exam baru dekat. Okay. Invigilate 3 venue pula. So I would say exam hall yang besar tu, exam hall 1, exam hall 2, my personal experience, I encounter more than 5 students with no metric card.
That's a lot.
Itu yang I punya experience. Invigilator lain.
Yeah.
Kita orang tak adalah nak buat survey pula kan. Emilia 5 orang, okay Rayani ada 5 orang, tak adalah kan. Tapi
betul.
Itulah kisahnya. So I rasa concern ni is kind of legit. Tapi back to the question, how important the student to have metric card during examination? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kak Emilia. Anyone, any members of the floor would like to respond? Is it really important? Is it truly necessary for our students to bring their metric cards upon entering the final exam? Anyone? I think it is safe to say that everyone here agrees that it is important for the students to bring their metric card. I think. Sebab susah kalau tak ada metric card tu. Tapi itulah kalau in these cases, kita tak
Kita
tahu nak
kena
buat apa.
kita
Macam
kena
mana?
check dengan ODAL ke ataupun the respective department why at the first place students should have metric card in exam hall. Why? Dan kalau dia punya reason tu penting, then we should take action lah nak menunjukkan yang benda tu is significant. Otherwise tak payahlah dia ingatkan student. Macam tu lah.
Significant tu maksudnya kan the reaction as well kena be significant jugalah.
Ya. Kalau katakanlah kalau CFS cakap, oh memang kena student kena ada. Student must have metric card for us to verify that they are the right student. Okay, then if they don't have, how are we going to verify them? What should we do? What can be done? To show that we are serious on that matter. Macam tu.
Yes. Takkan kita nak biar je kan. Memanglah kita tengah blur tapi takkan kita nak biar.
Betul. So nampak macam student pun macam alah tak serius pun. Hari tu aku okay je orang bagi je aku masuk. Dah lah forever lah macam tu. Pisang lah.
Betul. Kalau kita tak ada enforcement yang betul-betul nampak benda tu yang kita ambil berat, memang student akan ambil ringan lah. Macam rasanya saya pun rasa macam semua orang pun macam senyap sebab kita dah practice benda ni lama, dah experience macam okay tak ada metric card, okay tak apalah as long as ada attendance slip ke OIC.
Betul.
Kan. So,
tapi yang membuatkan kita orang invigilator ni macam saya tertanya-tanya sebab arahan tu datang daripada chief invigilator. Invigilator yang suruh letak metric card atas meja. So kita orang yang invigilator ni kalau kita compromise dengan student yang tak ada metric card, so what is the purpose at the first place nak announce kena ada metric card? Dia macam tak tally lah. Sesama staff pun tak tally. Ini kan pula dengan student. Macam tu lah. Macam Kak Nurul cakap lah, dia punya implementation, dia punya execution, dia punya enforcement. Yes.
Ada gap sekarang ni. Now that we have identified, sebenarnya ada gap sebenarnya. Gap in terms of how to respond to these situations. Hopefully we can have like more discussions on this, or maybe like more serious action to be taken. Maybe Odai can suggest something that is serious. Maknanya kalau student tu tak bawa, then macam mana Kak Emilia kalau kita nak minta dia pergi ambil pun susah juga tu. Can we have Brother Hafiz? However he had a last minute commitment. Okay, insyaAllah we will convey insyaAllah. So thank you very much Kak Emilia. This is important. This is a platform for us to raise the issues as well as the concerns as well as our experiences in conducting final exam. And benda-benda ni kalau kita tak bincang dekat sini, maybe dia takkan dibincang lagi in the future. So this is like a really good platform for us to discuss about this one. Thank you so much Brother Shams. We will try and get back to every participants as well as to the CFS IUM community in terms of students metric card to the final exam. Thank you so much Kak Emi. Brilliant.
Sister Anis nak kongsi sikit pengalaman when I was a student.
Boleh.
Just sharing with everybody my experience when I was a student in Gombak kan back then. I think we had the urge and the fear of not having metric card kan when sitting for final exam. I remember I lost my student card, but then we had to go to Awesome to get like temporary student card in order for the final exam. So we had that urge, we had that fear ingrained in us. If you don't have the metric card, this is what you're supposed to do. So perhaps we can have that kind of, we try to instill that fear as well. Yeah, sama juga lah macam SFS kan, macam before this, we inform our student kalau tak isi SFS tak boleh nak view the result, tapi still they see the result. So again, we talk about execution, implementation, reinforcement, semua tu lah. Yeah, so cumanya sometimes it's important for us to like fear, to create fear so that they are more careful, they are more, they would observe lah the policies too. And yeah, so just to share with everybody, when I was a student tu macam kita ada takut tu memang, tak ada metric card ni terus pergi Awesome, dapatkan metric card macam tu. Yeah.
Betul-betul. At least mestilah kita dah realise at least benda tu sehari ke sebelum tu.
Yeah.
Kan?
Betul.
So kalau kita buat kat sini, do we have the Awesome office here? Contoh like if we were to implement the same thing here, can Awesome office here do the same thing, like provide a temporary one?
I'm not sure whether we have that practice.
Kan?
Anis, can I say something? I think
Yes,
I think
please.
it's highly depending on back to the actual question now. Why should the student have their metric card together with them in the exam hall? Kalau for the purpose of verification, then OSIMPO akan follow instruction lah that they will verify that this student is our student, an active student. That is another thing. So the question is, that is the question lah. Why should they have metric card in exam hall? And is it important? Macam tu. So kalau the answer is verified, then all unit they have to cooperate lah, no matter how. Because
Yes,
we all have clear instruction and the clear justification of why. The why is clear, then how will clear as well. Macam tu. Tu from my 25 cents lah tiba petang-petang Jumaat ni.
betul. Banyak idea. Betul. Tapi kita pun kena come up with solution juga sebenarnya. At least one practical solution juga. If we were to ask that question, and then kita kena come up juga. Regardless, kena ada juga at least one solution. If not, then we'll not be able to move on.
Is the session is recorded, or is there
Yes.
anyone is recording jot down the point ke? The
Yes.
content ke? Oh, okay.
Brother Sufyan, he's recording the session. So we can always go back. So Brother Ikram said, make a video announcement instead of written. Okay. Make a video announcement.
Maybe like a week before the exam, you will release the video. I mean the guidelines to enter study at exam hall ataupun exam venues for the student.
Maybe like a TikTok video kan, like 15 seconds kan.
Yeah.
Betul.
Diorang dah tak suka membaca. Kalau membaca panjang-panjang, announcement panjang-panjang, dia tak baca pun.
Oh, excellent. Oh, see, nice suggestion. Bijak already Ikram. Excellent. Betul. 15 saat, 10 saat dah cukup dah sebenarnya. Budak-budak tak ada tengok lama-lama. Just to remind them. Maknanya kalau diorang still tak buat, then we have to impose something to the students. Excellent.
Can I share something funny?
Yes, sure. Okay,
Brother Ikram, thank you very much for your ideas. You know what, interactive videos, as for the announcement, this one is good. Provided speaker kena clear. Jangan sampai macam saya jual EPT listening paper, speaker pecah, apa tak ada dengar.
Betul. Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone. I want to go to one last question because we only have about 13 minutes left to the discussion by Sister Afifah. Salam, a question. What is the correct way of checking/collecting the attendance slip? I observe that both invigilators and exam attendants just collect without cross-checking with the metric card. My department emphasizes to cross-check the metric card with the exam slip. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Sebenarnya diorang just collect the attendance slip, but then oh man, this is quite a
I cross-check. I even check the face. The student tally tak dengan metric card. Sebab tu I tanya, kenapa you handsome metric card macam ni? Lepas tu dia gelak-gelak.
Oh yeah. But I've seen myself, like I went through I experienced that myself, like they just simply collect without even looking at the metric card whether it is there or not, and then just move on. Maknanya they just check attendance for the sake of the students coming to the exam, but not whether betul ke tak the student is the student ke orang lain ke dia punya twin ke dia punya members ke. We don't anyone, any members of the floor would like to respond to Madam Afifah's questions now?
I think Oda should respond to that question.
Can? I think we can also take note on this. Aki is taking note on this one as well. Any issues, any concerns that we have today, hopefully we are able to get back to all of our participants today with the justifiable answers, hopefully, inshallah.
One concern, one issue that I would love to highlight as well. Students who are absent from the final exam. So what will be the procedures? Are we going to because normally what we would do normally, we would basically record the attendance. But then are we like encouraged to give them a call, for example, if they're absent, if they do not appear in the venue, like maybe for 30 minutes. And so are we encouraged to call the students? So or do we simply like ignore and treat that student is absent from the final exam? You know, because we know that certain hours they are not allowed to enter. You know, sometimes some student they oversleep, they have reasons why they are absent. Kan? So are we support or are we encouraged to like call the students to ask their whereabouts and to confirm why they are absent or they are late for the final exam?
This actually happened to me last semester, like just recently, when one student overslept and one of her friends noticed that she was not in the
Yeah.
exam venue. So she said, "Madam, can you please call her because I think she overslept." So when I called her, about 10 minutes in to the final exam, and she said, "Madam, I'm very late and I don't think I can walk to the exam venue sebab dia dah nervous sangat." So what I did was, I pergi ambil dia dekat Mahalah because she said dia dah tak boleh jalan sebab dia dah takut sangat.
Faham.
Is
Yeah.
that okay for us to do? Yeah,
Itulah
true.
macam tu isu macam if we happen to know the students, sometimes when we invigilate other students kan. Yeah. So what would be a good practice lah? Are we encouraged to call or we simply treat that student being absent or being late? If they are late for 1 hour, then they are not allowed to enter the hall. Macam mana?
Any member of the floor would like to share, maybe suggest what is the good practice to respond to this situation? Should we leave it or should we give like some time for them? Anyone? Anyone? Maybe based on your experience, did you call them or maybe you ignore them? Is there like a golden rule, like golden time? Like for example, maybe 10 minutes in, maybe we can try and call them. Brother Samsudin said, I remember there's a maximum lateness kan to allow students to enter. I think it's about 13 minutes.
I thought, yeah, the practice is the trend.
Dia 1 hour tak boleh. 1 hour they are not allowed to enter if I'm not mistaken.
So within the 30 minutes, kita call dia.
30 minutes. 30 minutes and more, the student are not allowed to enter the exam, to take the exam. Okay, I would like to share my experience in this case. Because when I look at we do it very, very fast to get to know who are not there, whatsoever. Especially, we ask the student to follow the chair number, okay, the seat number. And then that's how we can know very fast who's student not here, not in the hall. So what I do is that I call the person and I will ask, where are you? And if it is far, for example, in Brunei, for example, so I go and fetch. That's how I did. Keep calling and calling. Wallah alam, that's what I do because sometimes they overslept. They have been hardworking throughout the night, so they overslept. So that's my humble sharing, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Madam Mazlina. I think what we can take from Madam Mazlina's sharing just now is that we can try and call them, at least try and get in touch with them within that 30 minutes. If still after the 30 minutes he or she did not respond to our phone calls or to our texts, then maybe we can, I'm not sure, anyone, maybe seating arrangement pun is another issue. Sometimes we practice free sitting, sometimes ada yang suruh ikut the assigned seats. Oh yes, yes. Seating arrangement pun ada, like for example in exam hall 1 I think kan, then banyak meja, but in the exam slip the students are actually looking for the number tu, tapi kita yang cakap no it's okay, just sit wherever you like, it's okay, at least or at least sit according to your sections. Make sense kan? So ada yang kita buat macam tu juga. Anyone would like to respond to this? Is it easier for them to have free sitting, to let them sit wherever they want, or we should ask them to follow the seating arrangements that have been decided for them?
Sister Tani, we cannot hear you, Sister Tani.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Tapi kalau kita macam go back to Madam Mazlina's experience, it would be easier for us to identify which student is absent, which students are present kan. Yeah, so then it's easier for us to sort of like do something, give a call, ask their whereabouts. Yeah. So tapi itulah, it's not easy, especially at exam hall. Sometimes, you know, yeah, the labels are scattered around kan. Yeah, so that's why we go for free sitting mode, because of
Yeah.
the labels are not you know, scattered around.
Consistent.
Yeah.
As they. Yes, Sister Atika.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Saya Sister Wahidah dari Exam Unit. Boleh saya respon untuk sitting number?
Yes, please.
Boleh.
Okay, untuk sitting number, prosedur dia once bila saya buat sitting number tu, bila saya dah generate, kebanyakan dekat venue yang besar, should be dorang kena ikut sitting number yang ada dekat dalam exam slip dorang lah. Tapi kebanyakan macam exam baru-baru ni, kami dapat requested daripada department untuk separatekan by section. That's why dorang macam akan ikut berterabur. Okay, lepas tu dalam satu venue tu pun ada kadang-kadang dalam satu hari tu ada banyak subjek. So lecturer dorang kalau boleh dorang nak susun macam subjek dorang tu row 1 sampai 3 je. Macam tu. That's why dorang dorang bercampur dekat, dorang ikut free sitting lah dalam exam hall tu. Tapi kalau macam satu hall tu ada satu subjek je, should be dorang kena ikut sitting number yang ada dekat dalam exam slip.
Yes. Agree. Especially kalau macam just memang satu paper je kan dalam satu exam tu.
Betul.
Ramai pula kan. So I think we can encourage and we can remind everyone, the invigilators, the chief invigilators, this is a good practice. That is, especially when having only one paper with mass students at one venue, to sit according to the sitting arrangement that is already assigned to them. That way, we can overcome the issue of missing students, like Madam Maniza said. Like immediately, within few minutes, kita dah boleh identify those kind of situations. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much, everyone. These are the takeaway points from today's professional discussion. Number 1 is, yes, Madam Maniza.
Okay, just one question to Odal. Kebetulan kan, it just happened to me. Sorry. This is pertaining to the receipt exam. Okay, receipt exam. So my question is, will it be like a common policy that receipt will always be online? Because dah 2 semester memang receipt online. So my concern is that receipt baru ni, what do they do to ensure that there's no copying, things like that kan? Itu satu hal. Because baru ni I have one student yang ni, I notice dia punya handwriting tu like 2 yang berbeza, see? Tapi we cannot confirm lah because we are not there, you see. So I'm very concerned about the handling of receipt as online. Sampai bila kita nak buat online sedangkan we are back to face. Okay, itu sajalah my concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Maniza. Online receipt. Sister Wahidah, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, can you please respond to the question or ke macam mana? What do you think?
Okay, ini daripada side kami exam unit lah. Actually memang kami decide untuk buat receipt dan special ni online. Kita pun faham lah kan student yang sekadar receipt saja yang ada satu paper je untuk receipt, takkan diorang nak balik semula ke kampus kan.
Tapi sister, kita tak boleh guna alasan tu because in the past, kalau receipt pun memang dia kena datang kampus.
Betul.
That excuse. Sekadar satu paper, they don't have to come.
Okey, betul kami pun decide memang macam tu, macam ikutkan previous student memang diorang akan datang sini. Tapi ada email yang bagi tahu kami, memang kami terima 2 email yang agak rude jugalah. Kata macam CFS tak concern untuk student receipt yang jauh, yang berada di Sabah Sarawak untuk balik semula untuk beli tiket flight. So kami last minute pula dapat tahu yang kata student ni request untuk exam online. So memang waktu receipt dan special baru-baru ni memang sangat-sangat orang kata apa, pada kami exam unit ni macam sedikit kelam kabut sikit lah. Untuk
Betul.
handlekan online dan juga face to face, sebab last minute dia request untuk online. Dan juga bila kami baca 2 email yang rude tu, memang kami sangat-sangat rasa macam kenapa student nak email macam ni kan. Kami pun agak terkejut lah kenapa student nak fikir macam tu. Tapi kalau kami balas, kami kata kalau should be, kalau sini-sini diorang pun diorang boleh balik. Kenapa diorang tak boleh balik?
Right.
Diorang macam apa, bandingkan lah kenapa kawan-kawan diorang yang semester lepas boleh receipt online tapi diorang kena balik kampus. Macam tu.
Kalau
Tapi
kita ada
insyaAllah
Kalau
yang
kita boleh kata now is already back to face, kan. Dah tak ada dah yang online ni. So maksudnya kita kena strict on the policy. They cannot even compare to the previous batches because masa tu masih ada lagi online macam tu. So I think the department should make stand on that. Okay, tak boleh just because rude email and then you mellow down and you give leeway. I think it will never end like that. Allahu alam lah. Cuma yang itulah like what sister cakap tadi, memang saya pun terkejut because I was asked to submit the hard copy. So I submitted the hard copy. Memang submit hard copy, submit email, hard soft copy to to my PA kan, PA department. So what happened is lepas tu student contact, madam mana link untuk untuk exam. I was like, bukan dah submit dekat sini. So and then only I know that ODA will be conducting the
exam online.
So itulah macam kita pun jadi macam kelang kabut. What's happening here? See?
There's a question for you, Kak Maniza from Brother Syams. Dulu handle Sabah Sarawak punya cases macam mana, Kak?
Tak, rasanya dulu tak pernah ada lah kisah Sabah Sarawak ke, kau kat Singapore ke, kau kat mana ke. So you still have to come back because this is an exam, you see. So that's not the issue here. Allahu alam lah.
I think kalau dekat
sejak kita ada online ni lah, kita dah terlalu give way to our student kan, jadi dia pun jadi demanding sangat.
I remember kalau dekat Gombak rasanya tak boleh online. Regardless lah you duduk kat mana, you duduk dekat Saudi, Singapore, they will have to come back and they'll have to sit for the receipt face to face regardless where you are.
So, bukan apa, kalau kita tahu dia online, kita akan tailor soalan tu, right, in such a way that it suits online. Ya, jadi kalau soalan tu macam face to face, dia lain. Online kita tak nak dia orang copy kan directly, direct question from the book for example. But here we are not informed, tiba-tiba last minute pagi-pagi tu ni mana online link mana? Allahu Akbar. Kita pun panik semacam. So ODA should inform us lah. If you want to make it online, tell the examiner ahead of time. So kita akan prepare a different set.
Dan dia tambah yang pasal online ni kan, yang itulah macam I totally agree with Madam Maniza. We have to be strict with our practices. Sebab they will always give that excuse yang kata yang lain tu boleh, kita tak boleh kan. So it will never end. Cumanya from student side, from student side they are supposed to come if they are told to come to sit for receipt ke. Tapi at the same time, mungkin on our part and management, we also have to give them ample time to plan. Sometimes they will inform at the very last minute. That would be unfair jugalah, especially from Sabah Sarawak kan, to plan, especially yang dekat dengan orang kata apa, cuti sekolah, mungkin the tickets kind of expensive for them kan.
Expensive.
So mungkin kita kena fikir the moment diorang free tu, receipt terus macam decide bila tarikh, dia terus keluar dekat slip ke kan, at least they can plan already. Instead of macam give
Brother
them
Raya ni,
uh-huh.
dekat diorang punya result slip tu, semua kami dah inform dah. Date untuk diorang receipt special, diorang rechecking, semua dah inform dah.
Dekat result
Diorang
tu.
mana dekat result slip. Tapi kami ada kami ada terima call, student tanya, dekat mana date receipt special. Kami kata cuba scroll ke bawah. Oh ada. Macam tu. Actually memang semua pun ada kat bawah.
Maksud on our part, we have done our best lah. Meaning, Oda doesn't have best kan, dah ada information semua tu. So, tak patutlah student bagi alasan tak cukup masa sebab kita dah bagi tarikh kan.
Memanglah generasi sekarang ni semua nak tanya. Sedangkan all the instructions are there kan.
Yeah, we have to personalize and we have to like contact them personally.
Betul.
Susah.
Dia jadi sebenarnya kita tak kisah tau kalau macam nak kena contact dia apa semua, tapi kalau dah remind banyak kali and still happen tu.
Saya maaf mencelah, saya pun nak bertanya lah pasal benda ni sebab it happened to my 2 students exam baru-baru ni. Seorang kena COVID, seorang MC. So saya tak sure prosedur sebenar macam prosedur, adakah prosedur boleh berubah? As what yang dipraktiskan sebelum-sebelum ni, semua special exam yang untuk student MMC ke apa ke semua ke akan dibuat awal semester yang seterusnya, which is benda tu mungkin akan orang kata apa, lower down dah dia punya tone dia untuk dia study, dah lupa dan sebagainya kan. So I'm not sure boleh ke, maksudnya macam student tanya juga saya sebelum ni, madam kenapa tak kita orang ambil exam bila dah habis paper, maksudnya macam the last day of paper tu diorang terus ambil exam sebab dia MC masa hari yang kejadian ataupun kuarantin untuk 7 hari. Lepas habis kuarantin terus exam instead of kena tunggu sampai buka semester baru, which is kesan dia agaklah, saya nampak kesan dia, one of my student memang fail terus. Dia kata memang sempat tak study, study pun dah lupa and all that. Yang satu lagi tu memang cukup-cukup je. So I'm not sure lah the real procedure asas macam mana, adakah boleh diubah. Kalau boleh diubah, saya rasa better kot student ambil exam selepas habis end of last paper ke macam tu lah.
Thank you so much Kak Nurul. Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah, we have actually passed, exceeded our time sebenarnya. We only have time until 4 just now. But thanks to everyone's cooperation this evening, we had such a fruitful discussion. I would like to propose to Brother Syams about apa? Nak tanya pasal COVID. Abang Syams, I think Abang Syams, we have to do for this topic alone part 2 because there are so many concerns and issues regarding the final exam. So I want to be respectful of everyone's time as well, and I'm really thankful for everyone for joining us. Even though it's late evening, tapi everyone was so participative. Thank you so much everyone, and I hope, no worries, Brother Rayani, Kak Emilia, everyone who have participated this evening, I'm really thankful. We are all very thankful to all of you who have participated this evening, and we hopefully we can have part 2 in terms in this discussion. Let's cut dulu sangat prosedur. InsyaAllah. Thank you so much everyone for this evening. You may rewatch this video for future reference on Akil TV. Thank you so much. Agree, we want more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone. Have a great weekend. And take care. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much.